I've done that same thing.
I was literally like screwing a screw into the wall with my fingers.
What's funny is when all you had to do was this motion, and I knew exactly. I was like, I've done that too.
Yeah, we've all done this.
Screw a screw in the wall with your hand.
Yeah. Made a mistake. Won't do it again. But anyway, Joe Samba. Joe Samba, who I have trouble not calling you Sambo still, to this day. We should actually maybe talk, let's maybe start with that.
Let's talk about it.
Like, why, because you were called Joe Samba. I've known you for a while. When did we meet each other?
Dude, maybe like 2015 or earlier.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And, you used to go by Joe Sambo, and then you changed it to Samba.
Yeah.
And I still don't Samba. Okay.
Yeah.
Samba, whatever.
It's up to interpretation.
I'm a New England guy, man, so I'm going to say Samba.
Yeah. Say it however you want.
Simba.
Simba.
But why did you change it again? Just to clarify.
So, dude, I mean, we're from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And when I started touring, I started playing in a lot of different places. And I went to I started living in Charleston, South Carolina for a little while.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in Savannah, Georgia, and just in the South. I lived in Florida for a while. And Sambo is a derogatory term for a black person.
Which
I had no clue. But you look it up, it's the first thing that comes up. And it's just, it's not a good word.
Yeah.
It's a bad word.
Yeah.
So when I would go on stage and say, hey, everybody, my name's Joe Sambo, some people would be like, what?
All the black
And I
people
play reggae. If you guys don't know, it's like reggae rock, Americanized reggae, but it's like white boy reggae. A lot of people call it. Yeah. So he's going on stage calling himself Joe Sambo, and everyone was like, why is he calling himself that? So, and, I'm just writing tunes to write tunes and share my heart and music with people. And the last thing I want to do is piss people off, because that's...
Well, and that's Sambo is like a shortened version of your last name.
Yeah, well,
right?
that's why I call myself, my last name is Sambataro. I probably should have started with that. My last name is Sambataro. And from my grandfather to, all of where we were the Sambos growing up. That was our, derivative of my last name. So even like my school baseball team, they would chant Sambo when I went up to bat. It was like... That's just my name.
Little did they know.
when I started my solo music career, it was just Joe Sambo. That's who I am. So it was just like crazy realization and trying to understand it and try not to get people angry at me for this reason. And I chose to change it because it was the right thing to do.
Was it? Yeah. Was that like hard to switch over the whole brand or everything? I'm just curious.
Mentally, no. It was an easy decision because once I realized what it was like, I don't want to associate with myself with that at all.
Yeah.
So that was easy. But the hard part was trying all the socials, all my music,
right?
That was already released under Joe Sambo. And luckily, I have my record label, Law Records. They helped me with that immensely. Like I wouldn't have even known where to begin with all that stuff. So that helped a lot. But that was the hardest part of it, was just trying to, for a few months, Spotify wasn't changing it and people didn't know what, and it was popping up under a different artist name, and but everything got squared away somehow.
But the Law Records record label, when did you sign with those guys?
I want to say it was 2019, 2020.
And you've been rocking with them good and strong.
Yeah.
You have a pretty good experience with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's
as independent as it comes with them. It's the band Pepper's record label. They're from Hawaii, but the label's based Southern California, and they just give a shit, they're investing in my creative endeavors, and there's no notes. They let me do my thing. And
the opposite of most labels.
Yeah. And obviously it's business, but they make it easy. They're very transparent. And almost like big brothers in the way they're helping guide my ship in this experience of playing for a living, touring for a living, releasing music and streams and stuff. They just are educating me a lot. They've educated me a lot in the last, I don't know, 5 years, 4 years.
And so you said they did Pepper. So do they like use that as an example for a lot of things oftentimes? Are they like, well, with Pepper, we did this and it worked, or with Pepper, we did
mean, I guess that. I think because Pepper themselves went on a crazy journey from, being from the Big Island of Hawaii and then, making the big leap to go to California and making all those decisions and like just growing pains and learning pains. I'm sure they've experienced everything every band experiences trying to do it for a living. But like, they signed with they've been on small labels. They've been on a big label like Island Records. They've experienced that and like the good things that come with that and the bad things that come with that. And, they're an open book with questions and they'll tell you straight and their experiences. And I think there is a benefit that they are a band that has done it and did it like the hard, rugged way.
Yeah.
And learned and can share that like so open-heartedly, like, yes, like any question you have, always.
And because like Law Records is such a smaller, close-knit like type label that it is, like, do you get to like do like campfire chats with Pepper sometimes? Is that
of course. I if I called them right now, they'd answer, like they're just
sick.
Awesome dudes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You should call them. Prove it.
I wouldn't want to bother them.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Cleo's probably doing yoga somewhere.
I believe you anyway, is my point. But no, I feel like the reggae community is actually like such a small circle too. Like once you like start actually, doing the circuits and stuff, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you've like hung out with like all the reggae greats, if right? Like,
for the most part, like by hanging out, I mean, being close to them backstage at a festival. Yes. I'm still working my way up the ladder but like everyone's just chilling, man. The more I go down this path, it's like, everyone's just chilling.
Yeah. Cause it's like the type of music where it is like peace and love. So it's like, you would assume that
everyone's
people are
just hanging. Everyone's cool.
Yeah.
Like the fans it's just great vibes. Like, this year I'm doing, Cali Roots. I've played that a couple times at this point, and it's just like even people you haven't spoke to. If you're at the same network of festivals, whether it's Reggae Rise Up, Cali Roots, you name it, any reggae festival that's going on, a lot of the same faces are there. And even backstage, if I haven't talked to a guy, I've just seen him like 3 or 4 times throughout the year at the same festivals. And then like the next year, it's like it goes from like looking at each other to a head nod, like, oh yeah, I know you. Yeah. And you just keep walking. And then the next year it's just like, hey man. And then the next time it's like, what's up, dude? Let's get a drink.
What's like the coolest story of like somebody you've met, like maybe that you idolized or like thought was really cool, or like just something funny happened?
I kind of base those experiences off of like how organic it happened, So the most for me was I got to meet Jack Johnson at Cali Vibes 2 years ago. And he was playing the night after. And the night we opened the day before Jack Johnson, and we opened for Snoop Dogg, and it was sick. It was Snoop Dogg in the LBC. But that day was coming to a close. I think it was Damian Marley, and I was just watching side stage, and this dude walks up with his hood up, watching Damian Marley, and it's freaking Jack Johnson just like chilling, and like took every ounce of me to be like, oh, please can I get a picture with you, like type of, but like it's in that environment, it's like I don't know how to act right now, like you get this like, okay, should I just be like, what's up? Like,
oh, dude, believe me, I know this.
And it's like,
I know it too, man. It's like in the moment, you don't want to be a weirdo, like with people.
Yeah, because you look up to them for so long, and now like that has in turn blossomed into what the purpose of it was, which is inspire you to want to pursue something like that yourself. And then you get to this level of you're playing the same events as these people, and it's like, he's right there. Like, what do I do?
Yeah. I remember I met Tom Hanks one time at a Dodgers game. Like, it was just like this weird like connection things. My friend was like his assistant at the time. And I remember he was like, don't make me look bad in front of Tom Hanks, and like and then we meet Tom Hanks. And it was like I was younger. So this was one of my like earlier, like celebrity like things. And Tom Hanks, I remember, literally came right up to us, like a line of us. And he was like, look at you guys. And we all just like said nothing and just stood there like weirdo. We're like, and he was like, all right then. And just walked away.
Tom Hanks, like,
we're like, oh my God.
We could have done so much better with that.
Why did they?
Because there's that threshold. It could be like that, or like we could hang out with Tom Hanks all night if we're cool. Like,
yeah, right. It's like your heart almost gets going in that type of situation. It's like my career like could take off right now.
But like, that's interesting though. It's like where's that healthy line of like seeing an opportunity like that? But that person's just chilling themselves.
Right.
And you don't want to like, like you could really change my life if I got to be friends with you. Like,
yeah, you can't. You
can't. So like there's that healthy line that people like what we're trying to pursue, whether it be video or music or insert any kind of thing that acting like that you're trying, like it entails that, and it entails that thing. So for me personally, I was very like, I'm like outgoing, but also introverted in a lot of ways. For a long time it took me a long time to get comfortable, like talking, even like a setting like this. So like, I'm in this like crossroads now where it's like, that stuff that used to bother me, like we're talking about, and overthinking those scenarios, it just, when you let it happen naturally and just like whatever, dude, like I'm having a drink, I'm hanging out with this guy. If that group of people ends up over here and I get to talk to him, cool. If not, like he's right there anyway, and that's cool. Like I can tell my friends like he was right there,
Yeah.
It's not like we became best friends and he's changing my life,
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that every time.
I feel like the more it happens to you, kind of realize like, oh, okay, like this is like, I got to let people come to me instead of the other way around. Like
totally
to actually make this work. Like you really need to have people be interested in something that you did. I feel like to actually
it has
get
to be
anywhere.
organic. And that's why I went back to telling the Jack Johnson story. Cause like it just was organic, where he noticed I was looking at him and he looked over, he goes, how's it going? How's the day going? Cause he had like just arrived. And I was like, it's going good. Damien's killing it. He was like, yeah. Like I introduced myself. I'm like, dude, I'm a big fan. My name's Joe. And he goes, I'm Jack. Nice to meet you. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking Jack Johnson. Like, of course you're Jack, But like,
I know who you are.
He asked me about my set and how'd it go, and just a super cool guy. Like,
yeah.
And that experience in turn has helped me have the view I have on all of that energy.
Yeah.
Because it's energy. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Good or bad. Like you have to decipher how you're going to handle that if you're going to be doing that for a career.
Because like you want to be a fan too, and it's like, and I've experienced like that. Most people really do appreciate when you're like, I'm a fan of you,
more
and I know who you are.
I would rather people tell me how great it is.
Than
like, I saw that thing and it was terrible. Like no one's ever going to do that.
Or pretend like they don't know you, and it's like, you do know me.
Yeah, it's like, well, all right.
Yeah.
That imposter syndrome, I don't think will ever go away in those scenarios, but it's how you handle it as a human and mature.
Yeah. And I feel like, dude, let me ask you this question, which is, I guess, maybe kind of a deeper question, not right out the gate, but because you're in, specifically, it's the reggae circle. So it's like reggae music is like all fun loving, good vibes and everything all the time. So, you're a human being, like you just said. And so to a degree, when you have to constantly put out like positivity all the time and like, be this like face of like, I'm positive reggae guy.
Yeah.
Is there ever times where you're like, I'm just not in this zone right now and I have to fake it to make it?
Yes. I mean, it happens frequently, but I'm also someone who kind of like wears the I'm not happy all the time proudly. Like,
yeah, cool. I like that.
But again, it's like, it goes back to what we were just talking about too, where you have to be comfortable enough with yourself to understand like how comfortable you are even to share that I'm not feeling this happy-go-lucky thing. And even in my songs, like if you listen to like a full catalog of one of my records, like, yeah, my like more popular songs are like happy reggae, upbeat reggae songs, reggae rock songs. But there's a lot of stuff that like, you know, my song Love Votive, the first line is the thing about depression and explaining how I'm feeling. So like using it as an outlet, like I always like try to express that people should have an outlet for whatever those feelings are, good or bad. And for me, it's music. For someone else, it could be something else. You know, like it's just honing into that craft and not letting those bad thoughts kind of take over. And, you know, for me now too, it's like I got kids. So like things are great. Like I'm a lucky dude and I have a lot more than when I was depressed. I have a lot more going on now and have no reason to feel that way.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting, the growth. Like everyone's got to experience pain and shitty and all those feelings to grow into what they can become. If you let that just like eat away at yourself, you're not going to feel good ever and never get out of whatever funk you're in or what situation you're in.
Yeah, like if you're just like kind of honest and open, it's just like makes yourself feel better about everything.
Totally.
I wonder like how much your priorities have shifted since the kids have come.
A lot. I mean, priorities have shifted, but like the mission is still the same, if that makes sense. It's just the purpose behind it all has changed mostly. It's like there's a lot more purpose in general.
Yeah.
Because I got a son who's 3 and a daughter who just turned 5 months, and I got 2. All done. Yeah. You know?
You're done.
All right. Now it's like take care of them and keep working and take advantage of opportunities, and it's been crazy. And like let alone being able to take care of family in like this day and age, but also doing what I love for a living.
Yeah.
19-year-old me, 18-year-old me would not believe the situation I have for myself now. Like,
it's beautiful.
You know, I'm very lucky, and hard work's paying off.
Yeah. I see it. I've been seeing it. You know, it's like pretty.
Well,
amazing
you've seen it since I was just like fucking around.
Yeah, you know? that's what's so cool, and that's why I love it, because it's really cool to see like an artist's journey just take its full course and end up where it ends up. Especially in your case, like you're doing like full blown, like you're just touring I feel like all the time.
Tore my ass off all the time.
And that's probably, I mean, balancing that with you know your life at home and everything, like must be a whole new thing to navigate too, like touring especially, because touring is really hard. People don't like talk about how hard touring is enough.
It's a grind. The come up is hard. I mean, even on a bus, it seems hard. Like just you're away. You're just away.
Yeah.
For a long amount of time. So like I understand wanting the comforts of just like being home with my kids and laying down. And it really doesn't hit. It doesn't hit on stage. On stage, it's like a reminder of like, oh yeah, this is why I'm fucking doing this, you know?
Yeah.
It's all the extra hours of time in between those that it's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah,
like,
you're only on stage for an hour.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the...
We're in a van and trailer, you know? Luckily, you know, I've been able to upgrade my trailer. I got a double axle, nice 7x16.
Nice.
Can fit a whole lot of shit in it now.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I need a new van. And that's like... I need a van now. You know, I just got the van that I just got, but we've been driving it everywhere all over the country for the last 4 years, and time for a new van.
Yeah.
And upgrade. It's just constantly like, it's got to keep it going, keep the shit moving.
And those are the things too, because like when you're talking about a touring van, that's something. And if you actually are like invest and own a touring van like this, you're putting miles on that thing.
Like, a lot of miles. I've gone through 2 transmissions. On this van.
I bet.
But like in turn, so much cool shit has come out of like those experiences of breaking down, but having to figure it out and like figuring it out and getting to the show in time somehow. We've been really lucky, dude. I've heard some horror stories, like tour ending bullshit and like band ending bullshit that happens on the road. And, you know, we've been really lucky. I mean, he told me not to hit the table, but knock on wood.
It's one of those examples where it's going to the polyrhythms again. Yeah, man, I see those horror stories too, like with other people too. And, you know, I don't want to spill anybody's beans, but like I have definitely seen like, you know, tension and things happen like that. Cause you're with a group of people for like, it's like, you know, becomes your family essentially. And
it has to work that way too. I would say even like when there's people playing and being in a bus with somebody or a van with someone, like it's got to be, at this point for me, it's got to be like 35% talent. And then the rest needs to be like, are you cool?
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be able to hang with you for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And if you're awesome at what you do, added bonus. Like,
yeah. And sometimes it's like people are cool, but then like it's not even, it goes even deeper than that. It's like, are we compatible? You know?
Yeah. And what's hilarious is I was saying this recently with Buddy where it's like, I didn't realize how hard it would be to convince someone to come on tour, to be honest with you. Because all the people who like are, in my eyes, good enough to join us on tour.
Yeah.
And I ask them and they already have done it and they go, oh no, like not doing that.
Yeah.
Or it's somebody like, I don't know, just somebody, a local guy who was like, there's no money playing music type of character. And it's like, all right, well, I'm not even offering you the gig anyway with that attitude. Like, but like, it's just funny trying to get, when younger me, not to keep going back to younger me, but like, had I viewed it, like I would have loved that opportunity. The opportunity I think I'm giving to somebody.
Yeah.
To come play on the road or come be merch on the, like just whatever kind of opportunity. If you want to get involved in a band or management or whatever, come with us on the road. Like I'll give you an opportunity forever.
Yeah.
But once you do it, once you're on the road and you realize how much it sucks and how much bullshit there is and stuff you don't even think about.
Yeah. All the equipment you got to carry.
Yeah. And you'll lose people quick and people just like, this sucks. And I don't want to go on tour.
Is there a retention? Like because I feel like the people who has the most equipment is the drummer.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for us, it works out good because Dave, my drummer, Dave, he's like the trailer guy.
Yeah.
To be honest, he just has his own OCD with his drums. So he's like,
nice.
I'm just going to pack the trailer so I know my drums are safe type of deal.
Dude, that's the best case scenario.
Like, all right, like Dave's the trailer man, you know, I do all the driving. He does the trailer organization. And
that's an example of compatibility right there.
Totally.
You think about drummers like being the ones that are like, okay.
You can still be that sometimes too. We all can be, dude, you're in a van for a month together. It's just a lot of, no matter what. But like, even with the people you're compatible with, like it's just, there's that, not everyone's going to have a good day if you're out on the road for 3 months, you know?
Yeah.
It could be so-and-so like versus the other guy. Everyone's living their own lives individually in this little van for hours and then standing behind a table or playing guitar for 45 minutes to an hour. Like, it's crazy.
Do you remember like the first time you ever went on a tour?
Yeah.
And, And what does that compare to? Like, do you ever think back on that? Do you think back on that fondly, or do you think back on that like, I'm glad that's over, or I'm glad like that I made it through that part?
I guess because I was in a metal band, Spies Like Us, and that was really technically my first time touring, and that was like 2009 through like 2013. And I was 16 when I did my first tour with them, and we did everything wrong. We didn't know how to book a tour. We were just young in high school, and we're like, let's book a tour down the East Coast. And every show was canceled down the whole thing. And like, our problem was, like, we didn't know how to like put on a show or book a show or whatever. We didn't know to hit up like promoters in different markets. We just hit up venues that we knew bands we liked were playing.
Gotcha.
And we're like, let's book a thing there. And they'd book it, but like no one was there to like collect the money at the door. There was no sound guy. There was no, like, nothing was organized. We're like, we're just a band from up here. We want to play there. Yeah. And like nothing was organized, and everyone's like, didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was just like a vacation with my buddies in a van, and we just slept in Walmart parking lots.
Yeah.
And like, it's cool to look back on those days because we didn't care. That was what was awesome and fun about it. But I wouldn't do it like that anymore. I couldn't sleep in a fucking parking lot with a bunch of stinky band dudes.
Yeah.
We're getting hotels, boys. Like,
you're throwing them under the bus. Could have at least said they smelled okay.
Yeah.
Clearly metal bands especially. Oh, very smelly.
Stinky boys. And back then I was the stinkiest boy.
That's funny. Dude. And by the way, like, I think a lot of people probably don't know that you were a metal guy at first. I think that's actually really an interesting thing and cool thing about you, because metal, generally speaking, is some of the most technically challenging music to play. And I feel like you coming from that background is like says a lot.
Well, yeah. So like, maybe guitar wise, there's those advantages of like the way they metal like mutes their picking, like quick picking patterns.
Yeah.
That's helped a lot. But like, I was always rhythm guitar in that band, mostly open chords. And the way I can play a lot of really cool technical chords. I play upside down. I play a righty guitar, lefty.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
So my low E string is on the bottom instead of on top.
Oh.
So it's strung differently, which helps play a lot of more intricate chords in a lot of ways. And I can be a lot more percussive with my left hand. So like rhythm guitar always just naturally felt better for me, where I can be a lot more, I can move quick, but like that in turn, having that quick left hand and rhythmic left hand helped when I started playing reggae, because I can really get rhythmic with my left hand and accurate, because I was always picking so quickly with my left hand.
Because reggae is really percussive on the guitar, I feel like. It's like
totally. Pop, pop. That's it. Pop. The skank.
Yeah, the skank. Is that the official term?
Skank. That's a term. I would say that is a term that is known in the reggae community as a skank. Skank, skank.
Huh.
Yeah. If you say, give me a skank to like anybody that doesn't play reggae, they might think otherwise.
Yeah. It's not the same term.
Hey, give me a skank, will you?
Yeah.
Skank, skank. All the reggae guys will be like, oh, okay. I don't know. If you're in Boston, they might think otherwise.
Yeah. A skank from Southie.
Hey, get me a skank from Southie, will you?
Ammo knows about skanks from Southie.
Are you a Southie skank? Yeah. That's why you're the sound guy.
Oh, that's awesome. It's just such a specific. Do you ever like try to blend other genres into you obviously do. I hear your music. Like how much of that do you get like pushback on from other people and stuff like that when you try to take those creative liberties? Or do you get?
I don't really get much.
You got a good label, that's why.
Well, the label, honestly, I don't get really any pushback. I get a sense of trust in that sense.
That's just great.
One of the first phone calls I had with their GM, Paul Milbury, he said, "You're our secret weapon." And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to write some sick fucking songs. And like, not that I took it like to my head, but like I'm very confident in my ability to write songs, whether it be reggae, whether it be a hip hop tune, whether it be like a pop tune, whether it be a more heavy tune. Like my records tend to be a roller coaster of different sounds, but under this category of reggae rock, you know, where it kind of like, I don't know how to explain it because I'm not really thinking of.
It's probably good that you don't know how to explain it.
I don't know how to explain it because I'm not thinking of like what genre am I going to write. It's just what comes out. And this is how it is expressed from my brain onto this piece of wood with strings on it to me yelling noises out of my face. Like it just comes out. So, you know, and lyrically I want it to make sense. And there is that, you know, you have to be conscious of like how a lyric will flow with the feeling of a song, like whether it's major or minor. Is it going to be a sad song about angry stuff or is it going to be a happy song about great stuff? You know, I try not to convolute it. A lot of people overthink it and
yeah, for sure.
You know,
I mean, you're incredible, man. Like your performance and stage presence and everything. Like last time I saw you in Arizona,
you got to come to the Tempe show.
Dude, you're just like a showman's showman. You really are, and you're smooth with it because you're just.
I'm most comfortable on stage.
Yeah, like your ability to play pretty intricate parts and like sing and just like be tight with your vocal is and do it live and just do it on time and just really like it's really amazing, man.
Thanks,
like
man.
it's clearly and obviously the product of doing it over and over and over and over and over and over. Is there like a song or something that's been hard for you to conquer in that way or that you've written?
Live?
Yeah. Like what's your hardest live thing?
If it's too hard for me to play live, I'm just like, oh, fuck it, I'm not playing it.
You just say no.
I just don't play it.
You don't challenge yourself?
No, I'll challenge myself, but at rehearsal, because like, you know, one thing that I have learned a lot from touring as much as I have, because when I put out my first record, I wasn't touring. I just put out a record and it was like, okay, we play some shows, I guess. And now that I've been touring professionally for X amount of years, like I had written songs on that first record and even my second record that are really hard to sing live, really hard. And I can do it and I have the balls to do it and I'll do it. Because there's certain songs that fans do want to hear, so I'll pull it off. And more often than not, like when I do my home shows, like when I play Bernie's in the summertime, I'll pull out those like B-side like songs that are tough, like just because you're not going to hear it a lot, but I'm going to do it. So what I've learned about the process of touring and now writing music while touring is I am going to simplify it. Not simplify as in like a lazy, but like something that I can sing live. You know, I have that in mind now. Whereas before when I was just writing music in a studio and I could do the take as many times or do whatever I wanted really until it was perfect.
Right.
You know?
That's something kind of crazy to think about actually. Cause like, I feel like when you're in the studio or when I've actually been recently recording myself, like trying to, you know,
You've always been doodling here and there.
I'm doodling, right? So I have I'm not anywhere close to you, but I have somewhat of a familiarity with like the comfort zones of things, I guess. Like when you're working by yourself, you can kind of have this like freedom of just like non-judgment and expression and everything. But then like when you're on stage, it's like you got no wiggle room there really.
Totally.
People are watching you.
Totally. And like one thing just from taking singing lessons and stuff too, is like the biggest thing they say is like, there's no good or bad note to be sung. It's just the confidence you put behind it.
Yeah.
And like, if I'm playing something I'm uncomfortable playing, I'm gonna play it shitty but confidently throughout the whole fucking song. And people are gonna love it either way. Is how I look at it.
Has there ever been like a time that you've been on stage and you've just like royally like messed up a guitar chord or something and like
all the time,
it's like gone way out of tune?
All the time. I am the biggest culprit of like not having enough strings on tour. And I'll just break strings and then like put my guitar away and then forget that I had broken strings from the night before. And I'm like, fuck, like now I got to go to the store and get strings. And we're in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. I got to go get strings. Now I got to restring my guitar. And then I play and forget to like tune it after sound check, and like first chords just like, it's like, this is 2 days of me being just stupid, and now my guitar's out of tune.
And it all hits you in this like one panic moment on stage, right, all at once.
And it's the first note.
Oh man.
But it happens, dude.
Yeah.
You just gotta laugh. Like so like typically we tour as a 4-piece, but a lot of the time lately we've been doing a 3-piece. Just the core members, drums, me on guitar and singing, and bass. And it's been going great that way. But if I break a string, I'm fucked. Like, like, you just got to own it. Like, there's nothing else. Like, people are there. People paid to see the show. Like, it's my fault that I didn't bring a second guitar. And, you know, like, so it's like, show must go on. Try to tune, figure it out. Like, and just do that for an hour and a half. Just like, I'm eating shit right now, but they're having fun. So,
that's all that matters.
You know,
just as long as you own it.
Yeah.
Is there ever a time that you've like played with a missing string the whole show?
Oh, yeah. Yep. There was a time I played the small room at Higher Ground in Burlington, Vermont.
Nice.
And it was like the second song in, I broke my G string, which is another one of someone from Southie Boston.
While you were
G string.
While you were playing the skank,
while I was playing the skank, I broke my G string.
Yeah.
And
that's a sound bite.
But like when the G string is that string determines whether something's major or minor most of the time. And it's a very important string to not break out of all the strings. Like, I can manage if I break any of the other ones.
Yeah.
But that one's like, oh.
Oof.
And it was like the second song in. And it was so bad that I literally just took my guitar off, and it was just drums and bass and me just like screaming into people's faces for an hour and a half. Like,
and everybody still was happy.
It was sick, yeah. It wasn't like a packed out show, you know, but it was sick. And the people there got a like unique Joe Samba experience, you know?
Let's talk about that, because in the come up, right, you obviously have to play a lot of shows that are less packed, like just a few people in a room type of thing. Like I feel like all artists kind of share this sentiment where it's like we had to work through that time.
Yeah.
Do you recall like ever feeling like any type of way about that, like going through it?
Of course. And like early on, it's hard because going back to when I was in a metal band, we were used to playing in front of nobody, and we were used to not having any money. And so like for me, having those experiences and now being in a project that's making a profit or breaking even, at least breaking even on a run. But at this point, we're making a profit every time we go out, which is mind blowing to me, because I was just so used to not making shit and playing in front of no one forever. So it makes you appreciate when there is no one there. And when there is no one there, I've already done it a million fucking times. That's why we're here. We're here to play. It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to have nights that are light, especially in the part of my career where I'm at now. There's a lot of markets I haven't hit. There's a lot of places that I haven't played, and I don't expect it to be packed out. But if I'm playing, you know, I always use this spot, Covington, Kentucky. I've never been there in my life. I guess it's very close to Cincinnati. You can see Cincinnati from over the river. It's like right on the border.
All right.
Of Ohio and Kentucky. And never been there. So in my brain, it's like, all right, like, who's in Covington, Kentucky coming to my show? And it's like, even though it was like 37 people, it was still 37 people in Covington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Who knew my fucking songs and are singing them back into my face while I'm singing them.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and in some way,
it's just cool.
Yeah. It's almost like more special when there's like not a big turn up, but those few people that did turn up are like really
They're
awesome.
diehards, dude.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see because I'm seeing more and more like diehards where they say this song in particular helped me through this thing. And like, it's just cool. And I don't know, it's unique in its own way. It comes with the territory of being, I guess, genuine in what I do as like an artist, like, or as even just me being a person.
Yeah. I saw you make a post recently about how, you just had a VIP package, like for one of the first times or whatever, because you were always very self-conscious about having a VIP package because you didn't feel like you were worthy of having a VIP package. And I like felt that because I was like, man, if I was in those shoes, I would probably feel, I like would feel that type of way too. Like I related to that thought, but then you did it and it was like rewarding and it
was great. Honestly, it's something I was so scared of doing for those exact reasons you were just mentioning. I was insecure about that. Like I didn't feel like who's gonna fucking pay money to just hang out with me and talk? Like And there's value in it to these people. There is, and I don't view myself like that. I guess
you're a very humble, non-egotistical. You're the opposite of a narcissist. I think.
It's
from
just
my view.
I don't know. It's probably one of those just growing things. Maybe in a couple of years it'll be like fucking VIPs. I don't know. But right now it feels like so like people give a shit. It's like and I maybe had the wrong attitude against them. Also, to be really real, it's like I always viewed it like fucking VIP, an extra money grab for somebody, but like. It may be that, but it's also an experience that people want to have.
Right.
And people are willing to pay to do it. And it's a business, inevitably. Like we're talking about having the label now, having management now, having a booking agent now, having, a business manager now, to paying the band, to getting another van. Like we're talking like, it's a business now. I made a business by accident. I started a business by accident.
Yeah.
And, having something like a VIP in a lot of ways too, like it's another tip I learned from a band, Fortunate Youth. They have their tour bus, not to like, this is kind of like just behind the scenes of just how it works. It's like to tour in a tour bus, you don't own a tour bus. Like you rent a tour bus. When I was young and saw bands touring in a tour bus, it's like they own a tour bus and tour. It's like, no, there's a company that has tour buses and drivers and you rent them for tours.
They're losing money.
and they're thousands of dollars a day to have out.
Yeah.
But bands do VIPs to subsidize those costs so they can live more comfortably on the road and they won't have to get hotels every night. They'll get a hotel for the driver and maybe some crew, but like they have their space. It's their space. They tour on the bus. And they do the VIP to pay for the bus. Yeah. That gives these people this experience so they can hang out on the bus. Like, because they'll do bus VIP experiences.
Yeah.
And on the bus, hang out.
As you go through those motions, it becomes more and more justified, like why you're doing the things you're doing.
And there's a method to the madness. And that's another thing from talking about Pepper and talking about Fortunate Youth just now. It's like, you have to listen to the ones who have been doing it and got to the point for them to learn on how to keep the bus and maintain the bus. Yeah. And it's opened up my eyes to a lot of things you just don't think about until you're doing it professionally. Yeah. And everyone's just kind of fucking figuring it out until they see it firsthand.
Because even me, like, I feel like any artist really, like, it's such a subjective thing to be an artist. Like subjective in the view of the listener or the audience or whatever. So you just feel like you have this constant feeling of like, I just want to give myself away. Like, I just want to I love doing this. So I just want to do it for free. But then you need to get paid. So it's like,
Yeah.
As these things come together, it just becomes more obvious why you need to get paid.
And that also being a reason why I was like, I'm hanging out at this venue anyway. Why do I need to do VIP if I'm just going to be chilling at the bar and talking to people anyway? Yeah. You know, that was my justification. But as things progress, it's just, you know, having that option for people that really want that interaction and being able to give it, having the energy and confidence in myself. I needed to get there myself to be able to give that to somebody. And the only way I was able to do it was facing the fear of it and seeing it for what it actually was, where it's like, it's not a money grab. It's an experience with these people. And I get to talk to them about what their favorite song is. I've had people tell me some things that like, I don't want anyone to feel, and how my song helped them. It's awesome. It's just the coolest thing about what I do.
Yeah. I mean, there really is no better feeling than that when somebody says like, that thing, that piece of art got me through this thing.
Well, what you do visually and with a camera and video, it's like, I've always held your talent on a pedestal from when we were buddies back then to now. Oh, well. Sincerely.
Thanks, man.
I've always looked at what you do as like wow, he's fucking doing it, dude. Like you were an example of.
Likewise, though.
You're in New Hampshire just fucking around with cameras and making cool shit just because it's cool shit. And I always looked up to that.
Giving it away mostly.
Yeah.
It was back in those days.
But like, that's what I think a lot of young cats don't understand when they're trying to make art, because especially living in an AI world now, it's like, it's like, I don't know. It's just it's not taken for what it, like I would do this for free. You do it for free. Yeah. You have to be willing to make shit money to prove that you're awesome at it, to get paid really good money.
Yeah, until you're credible, at least.
And some people don't want to fucking do that. It's just like, I put out this thing. Why am I not getting anything out of it yet?
Yeah, right. And those people always lose, man.
They'll lose, or maybe they won't,
or they get really lucky.
Or they get really lucky. Like,
this is America.
Who the fuck knows, man?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like it's sometimes raw talent is just enough.
Yeah,
or a viral moment is enough. But really, truly, like, yeah, you have to go through that grind.
But even if you have that viral moment, like, how do you maintain it?
Yeah, true.
Are you going to be ready to maintain it?
100%.
Like that wave of what that will bring you. Yeah, you have to be ready for it. I don't know. It's a artist to artist basis on how prepared someone is and how lucky someone is. Like a lot of that happens.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And you can't hate because there's no written way of doing it. There's no correct way.
No.
In what we do.
No. And you never know which one's going to, if that viral moment is going to happen, you can never predict it, like ever.
Yep.
Like you can't be like, I bet this is going to go viral. And then it does. That's just not reality.
Yeah.
Like because I've said that and then things don't go viral. And then when, you know, you're like, I don't know about this one. And then it goes viral.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did that go viral?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just weird. Like,
I always find it funny. It's like my least favorite thing is the most popular thing that I do.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. That's the thing you got to watch out for too. It's like, and you learn that. And it's like, I think a lot of people don't realize that maybe be careful what you wish for, because then you kind of get like pigeonholed into this thing that you it's not really.
You didn't intend, but it got you some clicks, you know?
Yeah. And now you have to play it on every show, or you have to, you know,
totally
live up to this like idea of you, everybody's saying, do that again. You know?
Well, I just think it's cool how relatable, no matter what art form it is, how relatable it is. Cause like, you were just saying like whatever song. In my mind, it's like whatever video. Like I was thinking about what you do, and you were thinking about what I do. That could be a comedian. That could be like, anything, dude. Anything.
Yeah. Is there a song that you like your catalog? Out of your catalog, what's your favorite song? Do you have one? I know it's like
I've been asked that before.
It's like an annoying question.
It used to be a quick answer, but I don't think it is anymore. Because I like categorize them. Like, what's the most meaningful to me? Love votive is like, I wrote that for me.
Yeah. What's that song about?
Depression and getting through a funk. I think I even brought it up earlier in the conversation where like, it's just, you're going through a thing. Everyone's got a thing, whether it's trauma, whether it's, something that just you can't get your mind off of. And it's just fucking you up and you can't be yourself around your favorite people,
Yeah.
That's what that song's about. And overcoming that dark cloud, I use a lot of different metaphors for like the feelings of that path of finding that happiness or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was a song that's like, I'll always love that song. But like, I've written so much music since then too, that I just love, like for Culture War is a tune, just less about what it's about, but more like the groove. It's just it just like makes me want to dance and have fun.
Yeah.
So right now I'd say that's the top of my list as far as like songs I wrote. Cause like I'll go back to my first record and hear everything I wish I did different, Yeah. So with the new music, it's still fresher and it's like, what I wish I was doing back then, I can now do.
Yeah.
Not like the song itself, not remake a song, but like.
Have you ever thought about doing that? Like going back and remaking an old song?
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have I've thought of that a lot because when I listen to my old shit, like I was just saying, it's like, I wish I did that instead, but it's just growing and maturing as an artist and trying to find what it is you're trying to do. I don't know. It's like, you could talk about like what you want to do. It's just what comes out. And going back to like simplifying for me and using my craft of touring and intertwining that with my craft of studio recording and hopefully in turn get something that I can play in any setting or event or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's great. I want to talk to you about like collaboration because I also want to shout out Revelry Studios, of course, and like just like your initial, when we met, it was in the old mill in Manchester, New Hampshire, and Revelry Studios was like downstairs from us, and we were always going back and forth, and I would go down there and chill and hang out, and you were like almost always there. I feel like
the creative station, baby.
Yeah, you were like they're kind of like I would say main artist that they're working that they like were working with carrying.
Once I went in there, they could not get rid of me.
Yeah,
they probably wanted me out of there, but I was like, well, I fucking love this place.
And like to this day, you're still. Working with those guys.
Yeah, working with Tyler all the time. He just came out and did content with us on the road and filmed all the shows and stuff.
Yeah, and how important like is that? Would you value like that sort of like team growth through time, collaborative like partnerships that you have with people creatively? Like I feel like at least for me, these things are very important.
Yeah, because you'll know each other's vibe, like
right.
I did my first 2 records with Matt Engineering.
Yep.
Matt Blanchette.
Yep.
And like the way that he is and the way he thinks may be different than how I think as far as where it should go. But like, we're good at like figuring out the common ground of what's best.
Yeah.
And like agreeing on what's best.
Yeah.
And sometimes having an opposing idea will help with the final product because they're viewing it in a way that you haven't viewed it yet. Of
course.
And that's what I think is cool about collaboration. Mm-hmm. But that also is the thing that I struggled most with about collaboration because I always wanted it to be my way, always.
Yeah.
But like
as artists, we all do, right?
Yeah. And it's just, it ends up like coming out the way it should inevitably. It's like I'm viewing it as, instead of it being like it has to be my idea, you should view it as like what's best for this. Like openly looking at it, thinking about what they say, and before you say no, think about it. Is this what's best for the final product? Like, is this what's best for the song? And you can A/B it, you can figure it out, and then inevitably it's like you'll know this is what's best for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it was their idea, my idea,
Whose idea it was.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's what's best for what it is,
dude. It's so important, and like I feel like for me that those layers have like shed off over time so much of me caring about what I care about sticking, and kind of like becoming more of an open funnel and more accepting to this concept of like, this is the best. We're all trying to make the best thing, whoever idea that is.
It's a mixture of maturing, but also years of getting beaten down and just like, yeah, whatever.
Sometimes
that sounds good too. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then you hear it later and it's like, oh, it actually sounds really fucking good, you know?
These Bollywood people were here shooting not too long ago, and I remember it was like kind of like a mess, and the DP of the production was like, I'm in zombie mode at this point. He's like, I'll do anything anybody wants me to do. I do not have an opinion anymore. I was like, right on, man.
I know that feeling wholeheartedly. Where it's like either or work, dude. Just pick one and it's great.
Yeah, I like that term, zombie mode.
Zombie mode.
Yeah, it's just like when you just give up caring about the input. It's like, I just don't care anymore. I have projects like that sometimes.
Yep.
It happens,
dude. It's part of the process of creating. It like, you're not going to be thrilled every single time.
Right.
But it's about getting to the point where when you watch the final product, after it being done for X amount of time, and then going back and seeing it or hearing it or whatever, and being like, all right, cool. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, sometimes that is that way too, where it's like when you're in it, it's just as horrible. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, when will this end? And then it's like, it comes out and then you get so much praise and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I guess that was kind of worth it.
Why was I losing my mind?
Yeah. or it just flops and then you're just, you're just mad.
But going back to the Revelry days, dude, that old mill building, I called it the Motivation Station. And that's why I was there all the fucking time, dude.
Motivation
What
station.
you guys were doing upstairs, what the guys were building at Revelry. I'm like,
it really was an energy. It
was an energy, man. It was. Another thing I used to say was the brain tornado.
Yeah,
because like I got into Revelry when they haven't even built the studio.
They were still building the studio, literally.
The space that they just started renting, and they're like, what are we gonna do with it? And I was just this dude who was like in the corner all the time, and they're like, all right, you can just come in. And it's like, well, can I? And then slowly kept going in and then giving my opinion on this. And then the brain tornado started of just ideas on how to build it, and then ideas on where the equipment should go, and ideas of what walls should be where.
No, it's great.
Not to take any credit, because all I did was like sweep the floor and pour some sand.
I think you're okay to take a little credit, man.
A little bit,
a little bit.
Without
building a studio is hard.
Without them, I didn't build it. Matt and Tyler.
That's
built
what I mean.
It, but you know, I think where I helped was the confidence in building it, and like, this is something sick. You should be proud of it. And like that reassurance for them, I think is what I brought to the table with the group, not purposely or anything, but like we all had a very like-minded mentality. We're all at this age in life too, where it was like, we're all in just creating.
Which is like young 20s, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about
25, 26.
Mid 20s.
We were at this age where it was like, we're all in, and everyone was kind of like thinking the same thing as far as what they wanted to do and how they wanted to create. And since then, so much has changed, from that building being knocked the fuck down and And
yeah, of course.
Matt found another spot in Manchester that also got knocked down. And you know, Matt has a space and he's creating. And Tyler's got his thing going on with the video, and we're still doing video shoots, and he's coming out doing content. It's just, it's still happening, just in different forms now.
Yeah, of course. You know? Everything evolves differently.
And over time too, that like the newest record, I didn't have Matt mix, but engineer, because there was just opportunities of working with people I've always wanted to work with.
Yeah, and you got to grab those.
I did some of the record out in LA with Anthony Rusta and Eric Krasno from Soul Live. Just two dudes I've always wanted to work with. And
sick.
This dude, Kevin Billingsley, he's at Halo Studios in Maine.
Yep.
I did 4 tunes with him, and I'm going to probably do the rest of my new record with him coming up in the spring. And
I haven't been up to Halo Studios, but I've heard all about it, man.
Dude, it's cool. It's like an old, like I
would love
barn.
To go.
I don't want to say silo because it's not a silo. It's a barn.
The whole studio's inside of a silo.
It's an old barn in Maine. Most unsuspecting building you would probably expect,
as studios are,
and it's just a beautiful, beautiful studio. And I plan on doing my next record there, the whole thing.
Nice. When you do a record, are you the one that's like primarily playing all the parts, or are you collaborating with other instruments?
For the most part, like I've always said, I'm a producer. I produce my music myself. Where
right.
Like all the guitars are me. Like all the rhythm guitars. Usually the bass is me. I do all my vocals. But my drummer Dave, I'll have him come do like a drum session day where, you know, there's talk of us doing half the record this month, and then after summertime we'll do the other half. But the like getting Dave in to do one day of those 5 days I'll be in there. He'll do all 5 songs, drum all the songs to like rough guitar tracks, and then I'll go in and do bass and guitar like for real.
Nice.
And then do my vocals. And then Billy Cottage plays keys and trombone. He did 4 tracks. He did all the stuff I did at Halo. Dave and Billy were on, and that was pretty much the core group. And I didn't do a whole lot of ripping guitar solos like the last couple records too, but usually I would hire my buddy Quincy to do all that stuff.
Yeah,
and,
shout out to Quincy, man. That guy's an animal.
Alex Brander's a dude I would always call up to do drum stuff and hand percussion. You know, I'm just blessed with a lot of really talented people to call if I need it. And if I'm thinking of like, oh shit, this needs tuba, I got a buddy in Maryland that plays tuba, you know, like he'll send those tuba tracks. Like, it's cool.
You mentioned like, you know, you mentioned earlier AI, and I think it is worth talking about because it's such like a hot topic of current culture, but also it's like music specifically. I feel like we're entering this weird age of being able to like go and type a prompt and it generates a beautiful reggae song or whatever, and it's actually good.
It's good.
Does that, what is your feeling about that? Like, what do you feel about that in terms of the creation process and everything,
I guess, like I haven't let it take too much of my brain space to like.
That's good.
Like let it bother me,
Sorry
I
to bring
guess.
it up.
I guess, no. I guess it's good to bring up because it's like first reaction and thinking of it's here and it's happening is like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But I also see like how that can be a tool for someone like me,
right,
to create my like future music. Not like, hey Siri, make a whole fucking reggae song that sounds like me. Not that, but using it as an advantage of just less engineering. Everything's kind of already set up where you can get your creative thing out.
Yeah.
But using AI, perfecting it without having to do the like doodle it just as a time saver more than more than it taking over the soul of what the music actually is, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like this is the thing I've been saying, which is like as this sort of like streamlined AI stuff comes into the culture, it's almost going to be more important, at least I would think, to have this human element to things. Almost like the imperfections of the art is what makes the art good in a way. Like it's what makes it special, what makes it a fingerprint. Like it's kind of boring in a way to hear, you know, dead on to a click, the thing's hitting on the grid every time, you know, the drums on the grid every time. Yeah. And I feel like over time in the creation of music, that's been kind of the goal of you know, studio life is to try and get your instruments and sounds to be as, you know, perfect as you can. And I feel like that's almost going to shift away from that further and further now that this is happening, because people are just going to be like, I'm done with hearing perfect all the time.
Yeah, I like to think like that too, but I don't know. We'll see what the future holds with it. But like, I myself am such a live music guy.
Yeah, you're
where
right.
Like I'm seeing and hearing more live music than I am listening to whatever AI generated crap. And,
of course.
And where I see it affecting a lot in the field of songwriting and composing and scoring. So cats who are in LA or insert whatever like job of just like you need like spooky swells in this little scene of whatever show, and it's like a eerie music swell. That's not going to be a dude on a keyboard anymore. Like they can just spooky swell.
Yeah,
you know, I see that kind of affecting
the spooky swell button.
Yeah, the spooky swell button. Like I feel that is gonna, it'll affect that stuff more first than it would affect like any artistry per se. Because I feel like every artist is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just do it myself.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
but who's to say? I don't know.
Yeah, none of us know, right? I
don't know, but just being someone who's around live music more often, what you're saying, I can see happening where people will veer away from it because it's like, ew.
Like nobody wants to hear an AI generated. Yeah. Well, some people might think it's a novelty right now.
It's a novelty to have an app that's like, look at. It's like Bob Marley singing Nirvana. Like
it's almost like a fun gimmick in a way.
Yeah,
but it's not supporting an artist to listen to that, and people know that, and I feel like that's the actual value of the human being is going to hopefully be going up as this happens, right? So I hope.
One would hope.
I really, fingers are crossed, man.
Please.
So where do you see yourself in like 5 years, 10 years? Like, what do you think? What's your goal? Like, what's your goal? Or are you kind of just living the dream right now?
There's still a lot to accomplish. I'm not like, I'm living a dream for sure.
Yeah.
Where I've always dreamed of doing what I do for a living, and I've always dreamed of having a family, and I got those two things, and I'm living that dream.
Amazing.
But there's still more to accomplish. Like I'm at this point in my career where it's like, this is what I have chosen. This is how I support my family.
Yeah. And your family is very supportive of you.
That was something I wanted to touch on when we were talking about it earlier, where like, I would not be able to do what I do if I didn't have the support I have.
It's huge.
Not even just like my parents, but my wife is just like the greatest human on the face of the earth.
She's your biggest fan.
She's my biggest fan, but she also has to deal with my BS and deals with it well. And all that comes with doing what I do for a living, and
covers everything with the kids when you need it to be covered. And
she's got home base taken care of when I'm on the road. And I tell her all the time, like, you know, I wouldn't have chosen a more perfect person that I trust leaving my kids with while I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's just the best mom there is.
Yeah.
You know,
That's great.
I'm super happy. And it's just like, it's what we were touching on earlier. It's definitely a balance of home life, dad life, and tour life, like grinding the road life stuff. It's because they're two very opposite lives. So I've talked about it in podcasts and interviews before where it's like, you know, you're in a van all the time and, you know, like they're late nights and I'm up till fucking 3 a.m., don't get to the hotel till 3:30 and then it's just a long day of driving and it's that for weeks at a time. And then it's home, kids, wife, and you're waking up at 5 a.m. to, you know, get things situated. Liv's got to sleep a little longer because she was helping the baby like at night while I was sleeping. And it's just totally different life, dude. Yeah. Very different.
Yeah, it's like a switch.
Both are something that I've always wanted to acquire, and I've acquired them. Now it is to maintain that, you know, it's keeping that happening. And there's going to be some tough things and decisions we're going to have to make. But we've already been through so much crazy shit that whatever comes next is going to be a lot easier and planned, and we'll be ready for it. And we're planning on making a big move soon, possibly. And we love New Hampshire. We live in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And
we're all from New Hampshire here. For
Studio New Hampshire. But like, you know, there's just a lot more to offer out there, and a lot cheaper places to live out there.
Yeah, and out there is Nashville, right? Maybe.
We'll see. Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to jump the gun. Yeah. But we're
don't want to jinx it.
But a place like Nashville, you know, somewhere that's got, you know.
Well, Nashville, let's talk about Nashville real quick, because Nashville is like a center of music. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
And for people who have been to Nashville, have sort of felt that energy. Sometimes I see get addicted to that energy quite a bit. And you've spent time in Nashville.
I've spent time in Nashville, not like a crazy amount of time in Nashville, enough time where I like really love it there.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me as an artist, it's just where a lot of things are happening. There's just a lot going on. And from songwriting to the studios that are there, to the offices that are there, you know, it's just, that's where managers are. That's where agents are. That's where labels are stationed. That's where studios are. That's where all the songwriting sessions are happening.
Yeah, it's a big hub.
It's a hub, and it's not just country, you know. I know a lot of cats that play everything under the sun and are recording everything under the sun in Nashville. And it's just, it's a scene, you know.
Yep.
And it's a spot that, you know, there's the honky tonks that you could go gig at and stuff. But for me, I would be moving there for studio work and songwriting gigs, and either that or just continuing what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. You were asking me what do I see in the next 5 to 10 years?
Right.
I see a lot happening, but I just have no clue what.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's great, man. It's the best.
I love the mystery.
The best thing to do is be an open funnel and like just take it as it comes at you. No, that's great. That's so what my answer would be too.
Yeah.
You know, like if I was to be asked like what's my goals, like I would say I don't know, whatever happens.
Yeah. But like obviously I'm aspiring for more, and I've been very lucky thus far, and there's luck, and then there's also just taking advantage of opportunity and being in a place that has an abundance of opportunity and putting my face there.
Yeah.
I think would be beneficial. It's just like having my face backstage at Cali Roots Festival. Like the more my face is backstage, the more people will be like, oh yeah, that kid.
Yeah.
Because everyone's doing their thing. They're not going to think of you all the time 24/7, but if you're around, you're around. They know you're around.
Yep. And it's kind of comparable to LA would be for me. Like I feel like every time I'm out there, I'm like, oh, I got to hit here, hit there, hit there.
Yep.
And sometimes people ask me when I'm here, hey, are you in LA? Because this is happening. And I'm like, well, FOMO is, here comes the FOMO.
Yeah. But you can do what you do.
Yeah.
Like, look at this fucking studio you have. It's, it's important to have roots in a lot of different places, because at least for me, if I didn't leave New Hampshire, I wouldn't have seen what else is possible to bring back to New Hampshire, and there's just a lot of places with a lot of cool cats doing cool shit. You know?
Oh, for sure.
And it's just crazy just
everywhere.
To go there and be like, wow, this is what's going on here. Like, this is sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insert every little small town to every major city. Like, there's just 100%. Cool things happening everywhere.
Yeah.
And you got to experience them to know how good you got it, and also what could be better.
Yeah. And sometimes also, like, being in those small towns and being away from the hub of industry hub stuff is almost a nice thing, in the sense that you're not getting distracted, and you can kind of like focus in a little bit more on like the task at hand, whatever that may be. Because really all you need to accomplish a record or whatever it is you and your brain.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're out in those bigger cities, you get distracted because everybody's like, hey, come meet my friend here. And come, hey, let's got a meeting with this person. And it's like, oh, sick. And you're just doing those things, and you're ultimately not working on, like for me, like a script like that I should be working on or something,
Totally. Distractions.
Yeah.
Yep. But like, again, it's good to have roots everywhere, and there's a balance to it. And like I said earlier, I lived in Charleston for like a year. My son was born in Charleston. Yeah, I have some roots there. I have some people there. I lived in Key West, Florida for a few years. Got some roots there.
Yeah, you have deep roots in Key West, right?
I've been there a whole bunch. Dude. I lived there for a few years.
I've never been to Key West.
You haven't gone yet?
I still haven't gone to Key West, and I'm a little
I highly recommend going to anybody. It's a fun time. Don't bring the kids. Party for 3 days.
Yeah. Dude, I got to get out there, man. I've been told so many times like that it's the best thing. To like, tell me something about Key West that I don't know.
That you don't know about the Keys. It is the conch republic. You'll find conchs everywhere when you're out on the water. There's those big shells that people like.
Oh,
you don't really do that. That doesn't really work. When you like, it's not a horn. It's a shell.
Did you try?
Yeah. How do you not? You find one in the ocean. It's like.
Immediately.
Like if you put your ear to it, a slimy worm might come out. So you can't do that either to hear the ocean in it. But Key West, it's there's a chain of keys, and you can only get there by bridge. You can get there by plane, but like they have a bridge that goes. It's from Homestead, Florida. It's the last like town on the peninsula before the Keys. And then once you hit the Keys, it's another almost 3 hours of driving into the ocean.
Yeah, just across this big bridge.
This bridge, the Ocean Highway, they call it. And it's a pretty clever name.
Gosh, that must be so surreal. Like,
it is the most beautiful drive you'll ever do. I never get sick of doing that, ever.
Is it like being on the ocean, basically? You're driving?
You're driving on a bridge, and you're just in the ocean. And some points, it's just nothing but water around you. I mean,
how did they build
Keys,
that?
There's a whole thing on National Geographic about it, Modern Marvels. The Overseas Highway.
Because that sounds to me like
Overseas Highway.
It must have been a crazy endeavor, I would imagine.
It was an endeavor. I need to remember the names of, there was someone very important.
Mr. Important Guy.
Not Truman. Truman lived there. He's got some ties there. And Ernest Hemingway's house. Ernest Hemingway's was like my neighbor at one point. Not Ernest himself, but where he lived. Yeah. I just love it. It's the southernmost point of the United States, and they got a great music scene. I was just gigging there, living in paradise. I was like retired already, dude. When 2020 hit, everyone was like miserable, and I was like, peace, I'm going to Key West.
Yeah.
And Florida was wide open, so everyone who couldn't leave the country because of COVID, everyone was flying to Florida.
Yeah.
And I was just making bank in Florida and playing gigs, and
Nice.
life was jiggy.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good time. It was a good time. Some of the best memories I've ever made. Some of the best. It was a time that helped, like, put the life I have now into fruition. If I didn't move there, a lot of things that I have now wouldn't have happened, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like
just like from connections you made there, or
not even just connections, but like just self-discovery, you know? Yeah. Just having more confidence in myself and like trusting myself and my gut instead of like ignoring whatever and just staying in New Hampshire. It took a lot for me to be like, fuck it, I'm going.
yeah.
It's my first time really moving out. So I just went and did it and made really good money gigging, and I just
You shot
fell
some
in love.
videos out there too, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what made me fall in love with the place was, you know, we filmed the How We Do music video. And there was some fans in Key West that saw the How We Do video. And by fans, it was like a kid just stumbled on YouTube and found my video and was like, come down to Key West. You should come here. And I just was like, okay, sure. Where should I play? Essentially. And like, so that kid reached out. We were literally, actually, I'm sounding like an idiot, rambling idiot. I'm sorry. You can cut this out.
You bastard.
We had done the How We Do video. It did really well. It actually, like, in New Hampshire, it, like, did really well because I'm talking about playing reggae in the wintertime in New Hampshire, and a New Hampshire radio station reached out, Frank FM, and interviewed me, and they got like a bunch of views from that. So we were like riding on this high of like, wow, people really love this video. And we were thinking about, we should do something that's opposite of that. Like, you have now gone to paradise. Like, where should we film the next one? Should we wait till summer and film it in Hampton Beach? And
the video that you're talking about, just as for people, is you were out in the snow essentially.
Yeah.
Basically naked, not naked, but
I was in my summer attire. I was wearing my swim shorts and a tank top and my boogie board, and I was boogie boarding down like mountains of snow.
Yeah, right.
And it was just, the idea was just like, I wish it was summertime. I can't wait for summertime.
Yeah, and you probably really did wish that when you were shooting that.
Oh, it was so cold.
Yeah.
It was so cold. And I wanted to do the shoot without shoes and wanted to do it barefoot.
Yeah.
But it was so cold that I was like, dude, I need my boots. So in the video, I have my boots on, but it would have looked cool without them.
There's nothing worse than the cold, man. I've done the jumping in the ocean, in the winter thing. And, you think like right before
it's
you
cold,
do it, like,
dude.
oh, this is going to be like, oh, this won't be that bad. And then you do it.
Your
and you're
body
like,
will be like tense up.
Yeah.
I've done it before in the ocean, dude. No bueno. That's why I was like, fuck all this. I'm going to Florida Keys.
Yeah.
I'm a summer boy.
Yeah, me too.
The idea from that video stemmed a different idea of doing the opposite of that. And while we were having that conversation, I saw a message from a kid from Key West, Ryan Halligan. And it's like, you should come to Key West. And we were talking about it. And I was like, how about Key West, guys? And they were like, Key West? I'm like, this kid knows where to play. And they were like, message him, like, ask him where to play. Told me where to play, hit up the venue, got it booked. I put my record out at the same time. It was the week of 420 in 2019.
It's a good reggae week.
We drove down to Key West and played my first gigs in Key West and brought Revelry, and we filmed 2 videos. We filmed Reclaim and what was the other song? The Answer. Mm-hmm. We did 2 videos down there as like wintertime, summertime type of deal. But like my time there was amazing. And I saw all the places to gig and met a lot of really cool people. And every time I went down, it ended up being longer and longer. I went down for a week, stayed with some friends, made some money, rented a car, flew home. Then I went down for 2 weeks, did the same thing, went home. And then I was supposed to go just for the month of February. I spent all of the month of February there, came home. And then the plan was to just do the winter of 2020. And when I was down there, I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm staying here. I just decided to stay after winter. And
makes sense.
I was there for a while, moved Olivia, my dog, down. And that was the beginning of our journey together.
Yeah.
And
Did she like Key West too, Olivia?
she loved Key West. It was just, when I knocked her up, it was like, we got to leave Key West. But
Said that with such gumption.
it's my beautiful son, Salvatore, now.
Yeah.
Okay. It changed my life for all of the good.
Yeah.
But, Key West, dude, it was the catalyst to a lot of really good things I have now,
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I see. Speaking of Sal, I see him like playing. Is he like still jamming?
He's still jamming.
Because I feel like he's a little rock star in the making, like, potentially.
2-year-old Sal was really into it, but now he's 3 and he's just like into dinosaurs and and like Power Rangers.
Nice.
And like he'll jam like the Spidey and His Amazing Friends is a show that we watch, and it's the singer from Fall Out Boy does the theme song for it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like rock and roll. It's like a good theme song. And when that theme song comes on, he'll like grab his toy guitar, rock along to it. But like,
I've just seen the videos of him.
At 3, he's got, it seems like he has less interest now than he used to. But I think it's just because his 3-year-old brain is like,
Yeah.
He's got a natural ability and natural sense of time and like groove, and he'll do like the faces, and I'll bring him to Guitar Center and then let him slam on the drums and piss everyone off in the store. And
yeah, is that must be like low, maybe not even low key, but like high key rewarding for you to be like, yeah, that's my son.
Oh, big time, big time. It's pretty wild to watch. It's like I don't know. I'm just lucky. He's just a cool little kid. He's learning.
Yeah.
He's taking the world in his own way, and like if he plays music, like it would make sense. You know?
Yeah.
But if not, like whatever he does.
Yep, it goes fast, man. When you start seeing the little kids growing up, and you're
It's
like,
mind blowing.
Oh my God,
it's mind blowing because having my daughter, who's a new baby, she's almost 6 months, and seeing Sal being 3 now, and it feels like he literally was just this small, and now he's just like this kid walking around and farting, and it's just calling people doo-doo heads.
Classic 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Is there anything that you want to talk about that you went through that you feel like an artist could benefit from that's watching this?
We brushed on some of the stuff for me a little bit already, but I guess if there's something I want to say to a younger generation of artists or people who want to do music for a living or whatever, is just like, it doesn't have to be this big convoluted thought out process. Like it's one thing that I've always struggled with, even to this day, is like what we were already talking about, perfection. Like it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
And going back to simplify. Just don't make it too hard for yourself where you're pissed off at yourself. Like it can't, because that's inevitable. Like no matter what, to me, it's like, I'm always going to be like, fuck, man. But that's just my perfectionism. That's what I want. So I've been really trying to teach myself to simplify and do what is organically best for you. Do what is authentic to you and genuine to you. And I've said it in other podcasts, but I'll say it again because it's true. It's like, whatever your insecurity is, usually is what is special about you. So if you're insecure about a specific thing, for me, it was singing. If there's something I didn't like about my voice, for me, it was my falsetto for a long time. And after working on it, My falsetto has become one of the more strong things about my voice is my falsetto. And whatever it is that you're insecure about of like, usually that's your superpower. And I've said it exactly like that on podcasts before. I don't mean to repeat if anyone's heard me say that, but like, it's just true.
You should say that as many times as you can.
Yeah, it's just true. It's like,
it's a great thing to say. It is true.
It's usually what will set you apart.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's actually, I'm thinking about it now, like, and thinking about like, what is that for me? You know what I mean? Like, it's funny to think about that.
My butthole.
Yeah.
I'm very insecure. It's very hairy.
Hey, hairy guys unite.
Maybe it's the strong thing in me.
Man, dude.
It's one of my finer attributes.
Your butthole?
My butthole. Because I'm insecure about it.
All right, let's show it to the camera.
We do have this green screen conveniently right here.
I can make a whole movie about your butthole with AI technology.
We'll call it the whole movie.
The a-hole movie. Man, well.
Where no man has ever gone before.
A word, man. I appreciate you.
I love you, Ben.
I love you too, man. And I love your music, and I love your just whole aura, the Joe Samba aura. It's a thing.
Thanks, man.
So proud of you. Congratulations on everything. And
the feeling is mutual.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming and talking to me.
Of course, dude.
Got to get out to more shows.
Yeah, I got to come hang here more often.
When's your next New Hampshire show?
June 6th and 7th at Bernie's in Hampton Beach.
I'm gonna try to hit
Bernie's
that.
Beach Bar.
I'm gonna try to hit that. I got another one of those K-pop thingies coming up. But,
Okay.
But I'll try to see if I can finagle.
Well, if you need someone to be a homeless person in the background of it, I got you.
This would be an American homeless person.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, no, it's an honor to know you, dude.
It's an honor to know you.
I appreciate you.
You're adorable.
You're adorable.
Aw.
Cheers.
Cheers, bud.
All right. Well, this is making me wheeze. Yeah, I should be drinking water. Jeez. Why'd I laugh like that?